Hello, everyone. I'm Marty Janeski, and today I have my good friends Ken Brown and George Perdue here with me. It's a party, and today is August 16th, 2021. Welcome back, sir. Ken, how was your, let's start with the team you were coaching. How'd that go?
It went well. Casa Maria softball, so it's 14 and under girls. We play out of Southwest Detroit. Girls had a good time. We had probably 10, so we were short in numbers. But I said to the parents, if everybody gives me a month commitment, we'll get better. And we did. I called you the one day we won 22-21.
Yes.
Last inning, bases loaded.
So you were down how many? 7?
We're down 8. You know that speech you give in the huddle and you're like, this is the one they're going to be writing about. This is the one you're going to be remembered for. This is an opportunity. Right now it's the time. We can do it. And it worked.
Yeah. And then they got bases loaded. You were down or tied to score.
We tied to score.
And the other coach said, hey, it's too dark to play. We don't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
So they came back a day later.
And we faked a bunt 4 times, and she walked the girl on 4 pitches, and the game was over.
21-22,
Wow.
Pitcher's battle.
Wow.
George, how was your week, sir?
Good. Just we're starting to get back. We were almost 2 weeks out from school starting up, so I start back coaching cross country next week. Next Monday is our first practice officially, so getting ready for that. So any middle schoolers out there that are interested in cross country, just come out next Monday at 3:15. So, but yeah, and I know a lot of the high school sports have had a weekend already too. So we're starting to get everything's starting to get back to the grind.
Yes, and the big news of the week is Taylor North Little League has won the regional, the Great Lakes region. They walked through it. Okay, they are a solid team. They won the state playoffs, outscoring teams 52-8, I believe. And then in the regional down there in Indiana, it was they outscored the teams they played 38-2. Okay, so that if my math's right, that's 90-10.
Yeah.
That's not a bad little mix there, 90-10. Next up, they're going to they get Florida. They're going to the Little League World Series, and they get Florida in Game 1 on Friday, August 20th. So we just want to say good luck to the Taylor North Little League. Obviously, they have a lot of solid kids.
Yeah. I think the thing that I liked about watching that on TV or even reading about it was the pitcher, right? Van Bell, I think his first name's Ethan. It said that he pitched 5 innings in the deciding game, but he had pitched all 4 games throughout, strategically, you say. And what was the strategy behind it, Martin?
Well, if they get from what I understand, between 25 and 40 pitches in the they only need a day's rest. And if they go past 40, then they have to sit 2 days, and they could not throw more than 85. So they strategically used him with less than 40 pitches to bring him back after a day's rest.
Okay.
And obviously all their games were set up that way. Watching the kid, he doesn't throw extra hard. I mean, I watched 2 of their games.
Okay.
He's got a neat little curve. He can throw for a strike or bounce it up there, make it look like a strike and bounce it up there. What bothers me is the kid's always doing this to his arm. And at 12 years old, that makes me a little nervous, But the team can hit, too, man. The team can hit. They pounded it, 2 teams. Mercy game 10-1, and the other game was 11-1, and the other game 9-1.
Yeah.
They're spanking the ball around.
And the team from Ohio that they beat 9-1 in the first round, they actually qualified for the World Series as well.
Right.
Because it's the 2 teams from that region that get a chance to.
Yeah, a little bit different this year, and we talked about it last week too. Was the fact that there's no teams from the world coming in, so that's why they're taking 2 teams per region. So that's why you have more teams that are coming in. Usually it'd be 1 team for that region, but with no teams, I mean Canada, anywhere in South America, none of those teams coming
Chinese,
in.
Taipei.
Yeah, so it's basically it's all teams made up of teams from the U.S.
And the other big thing is that even though you get in because your team lost, they're still solid with 12 teams in there. It doesn't matter that you lost. So that's even more impressive that they outscored teams 90-10, because every team in there has talent.
Yeah.
From all the way down the lineup, 1 through 9.
Yeah. And I agree with you that it doesn't tell which team you are if you didn't win that tournament. It's just how your pitching fell. Right. Because if your guy lost 1-0, he got his 85 pitches and you couldn't bring him back the next time. You know, I watched South Dakota play, and their ace couldn't go because he didn't have any more innings for the week. Right. So they end up losing, but they're a really good team. And then when he goes on the mound, he's striking out 17 out of 18. That's somebody you don't want to run into, you know.
Yeah, some kids develop faster than others, you know. I mean, you get kids that couldn't hit a lick when they were 12 and they're playing on the varsity high school team because they develop a little slower. Yeah. You know, it's funny how they wait. But again, a bunch of good hitting, and it'll be 3 p.m. August 20th. Be on ESPN. Just a couple notches down from Channel 15 here on Wyandotte Cable. And with the win on Friday, they'll play Sunday at 1 o'clock. And with the loss, they'll play Saturday at 6. So we'll just say they're going to win, and they will play Friday at 3, and Sunday, August 22nd at 1.
And how cool is that to see that on ESPN? I mean, seeing those kids. I mean, you know, that's like a dream of kids to be able to be on TV, and you're watching some of these, you know, local kids. And you know, we talked about beforehand, like first ever downriver team, and they've been doing this since 1947. Ever make the Little League World Series? So, you know, I'm sure everybody in this area will be tuned to their TVs on Friday.
That's a good point. First downriver team ever. And only second team. Well, Michigan, 2018, we had a Michigan team go in. One of them. Gross Points or something.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
All right. So after that, what do we got here? We got a signing. Nick West, a wrestler from Lincoln Park, he signed to wrestle for MSU. Okay, so that's
go green,
go white. You know, I had a son go there, a daughter go to U of L. Doesn't mean it's a split household. I could care less about either one.
All right, there it is. I'm still paying tuition there, so I'm still going green and white.
Yeah, I'm done with that. But I mean, good for Nick. You know, MSU wrestling. That's just, you know, to come from Downriver Lincoln Park. I don't even know if he dominated. What do you know about the wrestling?
You know, I know that he was, I believe, in the either 185 or the 215-pound weight class. You know, which is pretty rare for a kid to go, you know, to like a Big Ten school. And usually, you know, we've seen kids like lighter weights go, but you know, there's usually a lot of pretty decent, you know, heavyweights or kids are at 185. So for him to go to Michigan State, pretty big accomplishment. You know, you see a few kids go here and there to Big Ten schools or better, but that's great that he's going there and hopefully successful. And you know, it's one of those sports too that you see that every once in a while out there. And we've had a few kids from this area that have gone and been successful, but it's hard. Toughest individual sport, in my opinion. Still the toughest individual sport you can participate in is wrestling.
I never liked it much. How about you? Did you wrestle?
No, it's basketball season, but it's during basketball. But I agree with Mr. Perdue. Like, it's tough.
Yeah.
Like, those guys would put in, like, the best workout, if you wanted to get a workout in our high school, was to go with the wrestling team. Yeah. They're going to run. They're going to sweat. They're gonna get it in. You know, they're stronger than everybody else.
So I wonder if he was like an offensive or defensive lineman on the football team.
And usually a lot of them are. I mean, if you're a bigger kid, I guess you could say you wrestle, you know, you're a lineman, you wrestle, and you throw shot put. I mean, it's like those are like the three things that you try to get those kids to do, because weight room's great, but you know that stuff really kind of keeps you going if you're a bigger kid. So
and at that weight, usually you have pretty good feet if you're wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
215, 185, you got good feet. Our era, they probably would have played guard, you know, but now I don't know if they're playing defensive line with that or linebacker. But yeah, no, that's a big kid. That's congratulations to him.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We wish him well. And go green, go white.
That's it.
Football kicked off August 9th. We had all of Downriver got started. Bunch of new coaches in the area. Let's start with this whole Thursday. Now, can anyone attend this four-way they got going? Our fine football team will have a four-way practice scrimmage. You were explaining it last week. So Thursday, what's going on Thursday?
So what they do is they break it down to all the levels. So you'll have a freshman, JV, varsity. They start like at noon. They go for like 2-hour blocks. I mean, it's full, 11 on 11. They will script like 20 offensive plays, 20 defensive plays. and they switch, so that they're getting that practice in. It's kind of like preseason, I guess you could say, for for high school. We have Monroe, Canton, and Walled Lake Western coming in. So
Wow.
good, and good. So it's going to be an excellent opportunity, and you try to get those better schools in because you want to see where you're at. And I was saying before we went on the air today, I made a mistake last week. I talked about the Bears were starting. They had their first practice. I mentioned how Donovan Canterbury was not going to be playing quarterback. I leave here. I go to see that first practice. Here he is, walks off the field. I guess he had decided either over that weekend or a little bit before that he was going to be playing. So he is playing quarterback right now. Obviously he's a very good baseball player as well, but did decide that he wanted to come out and play, which is definitely a bonus. Senior, but playing behind Jalen Pitchford, quarterback the last couple of years, but he'll get a chance to start. And we'll see how things go for this week. But numbers have affected teams. That's one thing. Talking to Coach Adams a little bit, I think they had 16 kids on the JV team, so that's not and a lot of schools that combine. They haven't made a decision yet if they were going to combine freshmen and JV together. But I would say there's probably already there were 4 or 5 schools last year that didn't have freshman teams. So we'll kind of see what they decide to do if they just make a JV and a varsity team.
All right, 16 JV. So how many freshmen? I mean, do you know that
Freshmen
number?
were decent numbers. I would say
Okay.
probably in the 20s. So if you combine the teams together, it wouldn't be bad. But 16 JV is just, you get 3 or 4 kids injured, what do you do? And so
Right.
that's the hard part with it. So decision, I keep on asking my nephew who plays on varsity, they decided, and they said no. They were going to decide over the weekend, probably when they talk to other schools and see how many schools have freshman teams and stuff like that too. But,
That's interesting.
But it kind of makes sense. Not to cut you off, but it kind of makes sense because if last year was COVID and they didn't play, right? So that's that freshman group that would come in. So they didn't get that bug or that those kids that would come the first week of school to say, hey, I want to play football or whatever the case may be. You didn't get those 15, 25 kids.
Right.
So you don't have that to move to the JV.
Interesting.
And I'm curious to see, because I'm sure numbers are going to be down across the board because that's what it sounds like. But, I'm sure they made some phone calls this weekend with ADs and tried to say, okay, what do you guys got? And, we'll take it
Right,
from
because
there.
they, contrary to popular belief, they do talk amongst themselves
absolutely.
quite often.
Yes.
Because I have been told from, Tom himself, well, I just talked to so-and-so and this is the way we're going to do it. And I'd say, okay, that's the way we're going to do it. We could try this way, Tom.
Yeah,
No.
and you're like, but that meeting's Wednesday. And they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we already had it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. A lot of new coaches in the area. Carlson got a new coach. They got was it the young guy? Yeah, young 25-year-old. He came from Indiana, I believe.
Played in Michigan, high school and college ball, went down to Indiana for a little bit. This is his first ever head coaching experience. So, but I have a couple of friends there that are coaching, a couple of guys I went to high school with, and they say great energy, great enthusiasm, which is, you kind of want to see that, you learn on the spot, even if it's your first year, you're going to learn, and they've got some excellent coaches there, Carlson, so, we'll see how he does this year.
Gabriel Richard had a new coach. They're diving into the thing. Lincoln Park has a new coach, we think.
Yeah,
We
Chad
were done with-
Bauman, former Wyandotte, teaches there now and has some experience, I think, coaching at Summit and is now taking over. And he's a younger guy, too, in his 20s. So he was Ron Adams' first quarterback when he came in 2005. So now Chad will be Chad's taking the reins over at Lincoln Park.
Branches
so.
of the tree
There you
falling
go.
down. Branches of the tree, because Adam's been around a while and never had a losing season.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
Yeah, that's Trenton. Trenton. No, they did not hire the
Little League coach.
Little League coach.
But the new hire at Gabriel Richard is the guy that stepped back from the Trenton job or was asked to step back.
Both of them.
Correct?
Yeah, both guys that were finalists for that are the new GR coaches.
So the saga continues.
Yes.
They don't play each other, though.
No, they won't play each
that
other.
one's like
Yeah.
a smaller class, I think.
The other guy's a Hall of Famer coming from Illinois, Indiana, whatever. He's older, though. Like these 25-year-olds that are getting the gig now, they stick around for 30 years, they'll be in the Hall of Fame. Theoretically, if you just put your time in.
Yeah, win 10 games a year.
for 30 years.
Yeah.
Get about 300 wins. You'll be there,
Yeah,
huh?
You'll be there.
I like it. I like it.
I think I like the young part coming because I'm interested to see what those offenses may look like, compared, to when you get a veteran guy come in. Not that all veterans are 3 yards in a cloud of dust, because we saw Air Coryell in our time, and we saw some great older minds that like the offense like that. But I would love to see like how these guys, these young 25-year-olds, what they're drawing up, So I think that would be fun.
What do you think, since we're on football and, all the college game now is line up, see what the defense is, and they line up fast and see what they have, and then look over and get your code. And they've got a teddy bear sign, and they've got a Slurpee next to a stove, and it all means something, and they all hold up a board, and the guys all look over, and maybe it's third down, you're looking at the third board. I don't know how it works. I have no clue. But do you think, has that been incorporated at the high school level that you guys know of? Because I haven't seen a lot of games.
I would say calling from the line, yes. And that's probably the easiest way to do it, because the quarterback can look over and he's got the wristband on and it says.
And they yell 47.
Yeah, and so everybody
looks
on there is
down.
on that same thing. Now, that thing with the signs I haven't seen in high school. I have seen it in college.
Yeah, I don't see that a ton. I mean, a lot of it's still the old wristband and the coach calling out from the play sheet. Then you change it up for the next week's game, and you throw a couple of wrinkles in. There's always like those 5 to 7 plays that you kind of add because you want to throw, you might not even throw it in there, but just kind of, get it out there. But maybe more on defense. I think maybe more on defense you're hearing, you're seeing some different type of calls and stuff like that to kind of, but I think you still got to keep it simple for these kids. I mean, I just think, simplicity sometimes matters as well. But
Yeah, I would say the wristband, flip it up. They even use it tremendously in softball a lot.
Baseball, softball,
Baseball and softball. So the coach, yells out 86, and the kid looks down, and 86 is wide right, screen left, whatever, and they go that route.
And in softball, I seen it with my daughter. When she pitches, it'll be a 3-1-1 or whatever, and that'll be location, pitch, and then maybe it's location, pitch, and then maybe height. You know what I mean? Well, up, down, or whatever it is. So they'll say 3 numbers all the time.
So when she practices, I saw her the other day too. She came to Allen Park Street, right before the street fair,
she
picked up that award, and she looks good. We chatted for a little bit. She was glad to be there, and saw Julia. Julia was there, so they were all buddies. But yeah, you see that. Okay, so she can hit a dime. You're saying so? She tried. That's what they practice.
She should be trying to. She should be able to put it where it's supposed to be put. Correct. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. What else we got going on here? What do you got in front of you? Anything good?
yeah, pickleball tournament, September
Pickleball.
18th.
We had the pickleball guy here.
Yeah, and pickleball.
Tom Snyder.
It's a cool. I won't say it's a. How do I want to put this correctly? It's not an older person's sport, but it's just you see this. You see this kind of, and they actually are doing it in the middle school. I will say this: they've used pickleball in the middle school. They've gone out to that little. The old tennis court, they kind of converted, and they have played. So some of these kids are getting it, which I'll be honest with you, I never heard of pickleball growing up. But I know they put some courts in at FOP, and September 18th, they have a tournament, 2 divisions, 8 teams in each one. There's 4 courts at FOP, so
Be an all-day affair.
that's your neck of the woods, right? You live over
Right
in that,
there.
right in that area. So Marty said he'll cook some hot dogs up if you come by. No, just kidding.
I drive down there. I walk down there. I walk by there all the time.
Yeah.
I looked at the pickleball courts. It's a better game with doubles. I'll say that because a little less room to cover. But I think I'd be good at it. I just don't have time to commit to it. And I have buddies that have already said, we'll take you out. Because Tom sat here, we interviewed Tom, great story. And I said, so how many points you going to give me? I said, you give me 5, games are to 11 or 15, 21.
Yeah.
But he said, the games are to 11. I said, give me 5. I've never had one in my hand ever. And he said, you'll need 10. That's what he said. So challenge. Yes,
Yeah.
challenge. And my buddy Don said, he plays all the time. He goes to these tournaments. He says, "Come on, man, we'll go practice together." He said, and then take that 5. Bet them. Take 5 and bet them. And you'll see, like, what the heck? But Tom's a good guy. And it is the courts over there at FOP are nice. I mean, they are nice. They are clean. They are smooth. And
September 18th.
September 18th. Yep.
And
16 teams.
Learn to skate same day. Keep that date on the calendar. September 18th over at the Yak. Learn to skate. Can't beat that. 324-7295 if you're interested. Just look up the Yak. Google the Yak. Tell Siri I need the Yak. And you take your kids down, learn to skate. As I said before, have them walking in the living room with their skates on, like right now. If you really want that kid to be the next Wayne Gretzky or the next Mario Lemieux or just a good fast skater, Pavel Datsyuk, pick one. Get them on their skates when they're little. And once they can balance in the living room, when they get on that ice, it'll be no problem. So have them walk around the living room on your carpeting, not on your wood floors. Wood floors won't cut it.
No. It would, but it wouldn't make us happy.
No, that's okay. And football starts 27th after Thursday. That's, that'll be right after. It'll be a week later.
A week from Friday. So
George will be in the booth.
Yep, Allen Park, Wyandotte Bears home opener. It's kind of, today kind of felt like a fall day, but that'll definitely be here pretty soon. So
yeah, it was nice today. It was a pretty nice weekend.
Allen Park's supposed to be good this year?
Yeah, I think the teams that I think have been, there's always will be surprises here and there, but I think that looking at Woodhaven, Allen Park, Carlson. I think the Bears will be in the mix. It's just, and remember, it's different this year. We keep talking about it, and I can't give you the formula, but it's not 6 wins and you're in anymore.
Nobody knows the formula.
It's basically you get the points, and so that's going to have a huge impact. You could only see maybe 1 or 2 teams from downriver make the playoffs. You could have a 7-2 team not make it, possibly.
Like when you were playing, because that was what they used before this last system, where you play a team, if they're strong and they beat you, or you beat them and they're strong, it ups your stock level. And if
made them go back. I remember us talking about it briefly about them going back because that still hurts. We were 8-1 my junior year. Only team we lost to was the state champs, eventual state champs, Pioneer, 13-6. Didn't get in.
Yeah,
that hurt.
You wonder how blowouts are going to be now, where if teams kind of take the foot off the pedal. If you score a lot of points and that adds to your points you get for the game, you may not see teams that say, "Oh, okay, we're up. It's a running clock." They may say we're going to try to get as many points as possible. So I think different strategy involved with some of these teams. But I think it's been at least over 10 years since we've had this system in place. Maybe longer.
Yes.
6 wins and you're in has been around for a little while now.
1991, they moved to. I think before that it was 8 teams made the playoffs per class, A, B, C. Yeah. But then 91 they changed it to 16, and I know because the class after us they made the playoffs because they were. They were 7-2. Anyway, am I still hurt by that?
There's things that happen when you're young. You just don't forget. And there's good plays you made that you still remember. There's just that you'll never forget that day you made that catch, or you ran that, or baseball, doesn't matter. Whatever game. No, those are things. That's what it's all about. Yeah. Let's twist out. We'll go one more time with the Wyandotte Stars, August 28th. Okay, that will be their annual home classic. It'll be televised August 28th. It's televised live. Like I said last week, it'll last about 8 hours. And those games are way different. You have to be polite, okay? And I know a couple of my buddies that play in that. One plays in Wyandotte, another plays somewhere else. And, catching the ball without a mitt, no thanks. I'm just too old. It'll hurt. I could catch it. Don't get me wrong. If I'm at Tiger Stadium and Miggy's ball comes my way, I'm reaching out.
Number 500. I got that. Yeah.
When's that happening? Is that going to happen tomorrow?
Well, let's see. I thought he would do it Saturday since it was Tigers night. As my daughter says, and her hitting coach says, you can't go up there swinging for the fences. You just have to make good contact. He ripped the single down the left field line. That ball left the bat at 100 miles an hour, and but he just pulled it a little flatter. You can't go up there trying to hit a bomb. he's gonna hit a bomb.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I thought he'd do it in Baltimore. I can't believe they sat him because that's just like a homer dome.
Yeah.
You know, why sit him to bring him home? But you know, look how many tickets they've sold.
Yep.
And now the Dodgers are coming to town, and you know they're gonna pack the place until he hits it. They're gonna pack the place.
And the Tigers are only 4 games under 500.
Right.
They're like 58 and 62. They're a lot better than I thought they'd be.
The magic number was 60. Was it 60 or 70? 60 something at the beginning of the season, the over-under. Hey, don't forget to get a hold of us. We must be getting close to wrapping up. At localsportswrapup@gmail.com. You can catch us on YouTube. You can look up all the past shows. Next week we'll know about how the 4-way went. You'll be there. We might go there. What the heck? We'll see. And they're letting us sit in the press box there, sir. If we show up, we get
Be hard to see from up there,
first class operation. Well, I'll be able to see from up
Yeah,
there.
tell me.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me, not you. You got
okay.
glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the old guy at the table. So anyway, I guess we'll wrap up. I'm Marty Chinesky, Ken Brown, George Perdue. Get us on YouTube. Email us, localsportswrapup@gmail.com. Glad to have my buddies back. We'll make sure they're here next week. And then I'm just going to slide away and it's going to be their show. Maybe someday. Not quite yet. So thanks for watching. Hi, Mom. And go Taylor. Come on, Taylor. Let's represent Michigan and win this thing.